finally getting to the full moon live. So sorry about anybody who was expecting it yesterday. I seriously thought I scheduled it for today. I don't know why I thought I scheduled it for yesterday, but here we are getting to it. So for those of you who are new, I always like to wait a few minutes for everybody to get into the chat, and then we go ahead and dive right into it. I love how we're all just loving each other. Oh, I love that. Just give me a few minutes. I'm going to pull the chat up on my computer so I can actually see it better without having to strain my blind eyes. So let's see here. Let's go. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. This full moon is like, there's so much going on with this full moon. Hold on one second. Let me get to the video. Let me get to the chat. Leo Rising. So I gotcha. Hi, Roden. Hi. Let's see. Yes, I want to view this. Let me view it. Oh, the quality isn't so good. And I'm a little delayed on my computer. It's interesting. Pop out chat. Live chat. Okay. You know what? Let me zoom in, make this bigger for my blind eyes. Let's see. There we go. Hey guys. Just woke up from an hour nap since I've been up since 4 a.m. Oh no. Ooh, a bondigas? I love a bondigas. Yay, I'm alive. I'm doing good. I'm blowing shit up. Yay. Oh, okay. It looks like you guys are doing really good. So happy to be here. I dreamt of you recently. We sat cross-legged with another female on the floor and talked for a while. Oh, that sounds like a nice dream. I've had the weirdest sleep. Like there were 3 nights in a row. 3 nights in a row? Yeah, 3 nights in a row. I like did not sleep like at all. Like I didn't fall asleep till like 5 a.m. Just got midnight here in UK. Hey Roden. Hey. Leo Stilling in the chat. I'm ready to party. Yeah. So where are we at? We're at about 2 minutes. Oh, okay, good. So we still got some time to kind of get calibrated. Yeah, guys. So this full moon, there's a lot of aspects. So I'm not even going to go into the details of the aspects. I'm going to just tell you guys about the energy. This Leo ended the Cancer connection though. Okay, can tell you've been tracking, so just an update. Oh, Sam. I think that's good though. I think that's good. I know it's hard, but that's good. Been sleeping quite poorly as well. Yeah, I don't usually sleep that well during full moons in general, but this one in particular was like, it was really hard. And I think that's because we have so much like fire, earth, Mars, Uranian energy. I dreamt of you too. Oh, you had green and red hair. Well, it's funny. Okay, it's funny because I kept trying to do videos the last few days. And I was having a really hard time because of my energy and some other stuff that I was dealing with. Like my partner's actually visiting me right now. And there was a crazy snowstorm. There's snow everywhere. I might post pictures for you guys. Yeah, so I had to do a lot of like last minute changes to my plans, unfortunately, because of that. But I did dye my hair red. I had like temporary hair color and I almost went with green, but I went with red. And so I was hoping to like show it to you guys, but I didn't get a chance to do a video while I still had the red in there. So that's funny that you had a dream about that. What's up? Happy full moon. My Leo Midhaven and 10th house is having a blast. What's with the Leos and Cancers? I just ended a 4-year thing and I never thought I could get free from it. It was so overpowering. That's really good though. That's good. This is a good time to like get out of those crazy relationships if you haven't done it yet. I was crying happy tears to see you, like not having seen my BFF in a while. Aw, that's really sweet. Super strange energy, like on the edge of the most ascension I've ever been, but then flip-flopping with falling back into old patterns. Oh, that's okay. This is a very like, the energies we have right now are very tense and creating a lot of inner conflict, along with external conflict. But yeah, guys, the energy of this full moon is not easy. There are some pros to it. There are some, well, you know, it's always a perspective, right? However you want to look at this. You guys can look at it as an opportunity to grow, or, you know, also, you know, have a hard time with it. I'll be honest, I'm personally having a little bit of a struggle with this energy. The universe is forcing me to quit my job and it's exciting but scary. Oh, that's Uranus. We're going to talk about Uranus a lot. Yeah. What's new with you aside having a visitor? Have I recovered? I've recovered from my trip to New York. God, I can't believe that was like literally a month ago. I was in New York. That's like crazy to think about. Yeah, no, things are good. Things are really good. Things are really, really good. So where are we at? We're about 5 minutes in. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Is there something on with Mars? Oh yeah, Mars is playing a big role too. Yeah, I'll get into it. I will so get into it. Hello, Rodin. Love, love, love your readings. Thanks so much for all you do for us. Blessings to you and your loved ones. Aw, sending you love and light. Aw, thank you. Maybe time isn't even time anymore. A month feels like a day ago. It kind of does. It's weird. It kind of does. And the in between felt really slow. So it's weird. It's super, super strange. Definitely, I feel like I'm already in February. Definitely feel like January is like this, like physical timeline I just can't escape. It was a hard time at work. Was not my usually peppy, positive self. Yeah, Scorpios are going to feel this one too because there's a lot of fixed energy. But again, I'll talk about that. Yep, I feel like January was a pit stop. That's a good way of putting it. Okay, I'm going to get a little sip of tea and then I'm going to start. Oh, that feels so good. Stark market. Oh, shenanigans today? I'm not surprised. I'm so not surprised by that. Okay, so for those of you who are new, hi, welcome. Usually when I do these full moon, new moon videos, I talk a lot about the aspects because there's so, sorry, I'm having a weird ass hair day. Because there's so many aspects with all of the same planets kind of involved. I'm not going to go into each aspect, but I'm just going to tell you what to expect. I'm also going to tell you signs and degrees to be aware of, just to look at your own houses for where this will personally affect you. So let me reiterate that again, because I felt I said that kind of Yoda-esque. Thank you, Mercury, which will be going retrograde in just a few days. So I will go over the signs you need to worry about. And when I talk about the degree placements, that's so you can look at your houses, because when we have aspects that are creating certain energies, it will affect you in a house. It will affect you in an aspect of your life, in your life, wherever that planet is transiting in your houses. And I will talk about that. I do plan at some point to do a video again on like a little like how to read your chart. I did that for one of the Virgo moons. I think it was the full moon in Virgo. Shoot, now I don't remember. It was one of the Virgo moons I did in 2020 where I basically did a little how-to, and all that stuff is still posted if you guys are new and you can like go back and look at it. New moon Virgo. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so let's dive in. So first of all, the full moon is in Leo at 9 degrees. I've got my notes right here as you saw me just look at them. At 9 degrees tomorrow on the 28th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. It's gonna be about 2 p.m. East Coast time. And then if you're like obviously not in the United States, adjust your time zone accordingly. So normally when I go into this, I really remind everybody to set your intentions for where Leo 9 degrees will be in your house. Our houses are ranges. So for example, when you look up like my chart, it'll tell you, oh, Cancer ascendant. And the second house, it starts at like Leo 2 degrees. And then my third house starts like Leo 28 degrees, like something like that. So I know Leo 9 degrees falls in my second house, right? So do that accordingly for yourself. Now, normally I just kind of leave it open-ended for that. Like do it according to that house and how that house is affecting your life. And also taking into account the energy at play, like Leo energy. However, because all of the aspects are kind of creating similar energy, that's really hard to deal with. I'm also going to tell you guys that it might not be a bad idea to set your intentions accordingly to deal with this energy. Not even like to set an intention that's personal to your life. But for example, this full moon is highlighting a lot of anger issues. A lot of anger issues, a lot of sexual energy, but also like being able to follow your desires, being able to follow your passion, that like Leo, big-hearted, fiery, I want fixed energy. But a lot of challenges with all of those energies. That's pretty much all the aspects are creating for us at this time. So I would just consider that as you are setting your intentions, that you might want to gear it towards dealing with anger issues, or how you deal with sexual energy or your own sexuality, how you deal with fun, or how you deal with indulgence or desire and things like that. There is also a lot of challenges with this full moon of like wanting to go after something but feeling like everything's in your way but wanting nothing to be in your way. So that kind of conflict, and we'll get into why that is. So also keep in mind that you might want to gear your intention towards that of like having patience, or seeing We're harnessing Aquarian energy to kind of see an out-of-the-box way of going around getting what it is you want, to accomplish what it is you want, because there's a lot of tension and conflict with actually getting what it is you want. Creating a lot of anger and frustration and all of that other stuff. Okay? So like I said, I'm not going to talk about the aspects, but I'm going to talk about the signs, and then I'll get into further explanation. So we have Leo energy, we got Taurus, we got Aquarius, and Capricorn. Those are the biggies that you need to worry about. We do also have Pisces, because Neptune's in Pisces. I would not worry about that one at all, because Neptune's not really creating any aspects during this full moon. It did create an aspect with the North Node in Gemini a few days ago, and I talked about that in the weekly messages here on Patreon for the Water King and Queens tier. So I don't think you need to prioritize Piscean energy, but just to reiterate, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Capricorn. So if you have any placements in those signs, you're going to really feel this full moon. You're going to really feel it. Scorpios, you'll feel that as well, because we literally have all your sister fixed signs, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. So Scorpios, you will feel this too if you have a lot of scorpionic placements. Now coming to the houses, I'm going to give you guys the degree ranges to kind of look at for yourself for where all the energy that I'm going to talk about might personally affect you. Okay. So I would look at Aquarius 1 to 10, like 0 to 10 degrees for Aquarius is what I would look at in your houses. Because we have Jupiter and Saturn at 4 degrees and 9 degrees. I would look at Taurus, like, oh, actually, wait a minute. No, yeah. For Taurus, I would do the same thing because we have Uranus and Mars in Taurus, and they're still like in the early degrees. So yeah, Aquarius and Taurus, I would look at 0 to 10 degrees. For Capricorn energy, for Pluto and Venus, they're actually exact, and I will talk about that. So that 25 degree point for Capricorn is going to feel significant in your houses, but to give it a range, I would probably look at, yeah, I guess 20 to 29 for Capricorn, especially because all the other placements are early degrees, so 20 to 29 degrees Capricorn, but really focusing on that 25th degree. And for Leo, I would also do 0 to 10 degrees, but the 9 degree is significant because of the full moon. But I would do 0 to 10 degrees as well. So just to reiterate, I would look at 0 to 10 degrees for Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo for where this will personally affect you in your lives, in your chart against your houses. And for Capricorn, I would look at 20 to 29 degrees, but the 25th degree is the most significant, okay? And again, to reiterate, who are the people who are gonna feel this emotionally or intensely? If you have any planet placements in Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Capricorn, and Scorpio, because all the other fixed signs are getting hit. Okay? All right, just really wanted to be clear. Hold on, I'm gonna look at the chat real quick because I can't see it on here, and then I'm gonna get into more explanation. Gotta get out of the way. This is so funny. I found a prayer written in my language. Yeah, we have LOL, I have yes, LOL. My 4th house is going to be fucking demolished. Yeah, for me, it's like my 2nd house and my 7th and 8th house is getting really, well, 11th house too, but like, yeah, and those are biggies. Like, those are like, by the way, if any of this falls in like an 8th house, a 6th house, or a 12th house for you, it is going to be hella shadowy, okay? Just letting you know, it's going to be hella shadowy. If it's like 2nd house, I mean, even 1st and 7th house will be shadowy too, but like, if it's like 2nd house, 9th house, 10th house, like it might not feel as like shadowy, it might not feel as dark, it might even feel, especially because Jupiter is doing a lot of stuff, it might even feel very pleasant. Even 5th house, because 5th house is Leo energy too, that also might feel very pleasant. It actually might feel a lot more like you can play and you can indulge. So just keep that in mind. My Leo stellium is showing up as my 8th house on CoStar. Damn, my 8th house lit up. I'm vibing though. Good. First time making it to a live reading. It's gonna be a wild time. Yeah, it's like this full moon is like, it's intense. It's intense. Okay, so just to go into the explanation, because I'm not talking about the aspects that much specifically. So we have the full moon, which is Sun and the Moon. We have Uranus, we have Jupiter, we've got Saturn, we've got Venus, and we've got Mars. All 6 of those, so I'll just call them celestial bodies, are creating a lot of aspects with each other. Five of them are significant. There's more than that that are being created, but five of them are significant, and they're all squares and oppositions. All of them, except for one. Venus is actually conjunct Pluto, but I will get into the significance of that. But yeah, all squares and all oppositions. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's hard. It just means that there's a struggle. It means there's a fight. It means that there's a push-pull, which again, excuse me, can bring up opportunities for growth, or you can get lost in it and have it be a really hard time, right? Patience is going to be so key here. Patience, thinking before you speak, thinking before you act, all really crucial during this full moon. But also, don't like forget about the play. That is Leo. Like Leo is fun. Leo is play. Leo is let's go out on the town. Let's go try this. Let's go do that. Like Leo is that like awesome, yummy, playful energy, which is still really important. So while you have these urges and desires that are also creating a little bit of conflict with what you can actually do or get done, especially when it comes to other people, don't forget to play. Don't forget to have fun. That is going to be really important. Okay. So let's get into a little bit further into this. Yeah. So with the squares and oppositions, we also have fire energy. We have earth energy. Fire and earth don't like to play together. They really don't. That's creating more tension and more conflict. With earth, we have Cap energy. We've got Taurus energy. We've got Leo with the fire. Mars is very fiery, which is in a earth sign, and it is working a lot with actually all the planets. On top of that, we have fixed air, Aquarius. Like, air is good to have here, but the fact that it's fixed, it's the fixed air with all the other fixed energy with fire and earth, it is a bit more of that like rebellious sort of aspect that comes into play. Hold on a second. Well, I've been feeling this for days. Taking a pause has been crucial. Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry. Just wanted to check on the chat. Getting back to it. Where was I? Got so distracted. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So that Aquarian energy is really creating a lot of that need to rebel and kind of break out and kind of push the envelope a little bit. But that's just going to create more conflict and more anger and more frustration. So just keep that in mind as well. Okay. What else did I want to say about that? Yeah, and again, more of the energy I already talked about, like trying to get what you want and not taking no for an answer when the universe is kind of saying like you kind of need to take no for an answer sometimes and just find another way. Like that's what it is. Don't go head on with people unnecessarily. Find another way. Find another route. If that's creating too much conflict and it ain't working, just find another way. So there are two aspects that I do want to talk about a little bit. So Venus is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, and that's exact. This is interesting because even though Venus and Pluto are supporting each other, we've got a lot of square and oppositions outside of that, right? Creating that conflict, creating that tension, creating that push-pull. So the fact that Venus is working with Pluto isn't necessarily bringing really warm, fuzzy vibes. It's actually bringing up more shadowy Venus energy, like shadowy love energy. So there's more desire for love and affection and physical contact, but this also might be a time where people aren't willing to give it because people are kind of stuck in what they want during this time and willing to do whatever they got to do or say whatever they got to say to get it, even if it creates conflict, right? So that can lead to a lot of hurt feelings. This is also going to bring up a lot of lust because there's a lot of sexual energy because of Taurus, which is a Venus sign. Also Aquarius is kind of that flirty energy, and Mars also that like, also that kind of fiery passion energy. And Leo is also very flirty. It is the house of dating, like literally, and Leo is very playful. So there is a lot of lusty energy coming up as well that will come up with Venus aspecting Pluto like this. Also there might be chances of affairs, jealousy, obsessiveness, like all that shadowy love shit, like kind of like rearing its ugly head. With the sexual energy, just tread carefully. You're all adults. Like, have fun with it, because there is opportunity for really cool, for really cool romantic energy here, but there's also a lot of possibility for conflict. And with Mercury retrograde coming up right around the corner, there can be a lot of misunderstanding. So just tread carefully and just think before you speak and think before you act, and it could work out really well. Okay. This also creates opportunities to meet people or attract partners that are unhealthy during this time. So if you're meeting someone new and it's like you're hitting it off, just be careful. Don't say no. Don't say no just because it's a full moon Leo and it's a hard full moon Leo. Like, just tread carefully. Just tread carefully. I also want to talk a little bit about Saturn and Uranus. Hold on. Okay. So this is one of the square aspects. Saturn is going to be square Uranus. This is something that's actually going to be there through mid-February. It's not just a full moon Leo thing. This has been here for a little while. I actually think it's been here since like end of December or beginning of January even. And I think it's going to shift like February 15th, 17th, something like that. This is an interesting aspect that actually creates restriction in trying to get what you want, but it also creates a lot of change and push towards what you don't want. So it pushes you out of your comfort zone in a way that is really aggravating or upsetting or irritating, may even cause like tower moments or change towards the things that you're uncomfortable with or things you just flat out don't really think you need or want. And whatever it is you're really holding on to wanting or trying to get, it creates restriction. That alone is very frustrating, right? So again, tread carefully, breathe, think before you speak, and think before you act. And also, if you do feel like you hit a roadblock, find another door. Don't try to beat down the roadblock because it's not going to happen. It ain't going to go nowhere. You're just going to get tired and angry and irritated and frustrated. So just find another door if you're trying to accomplish something. And also something to keep in mind, these are a couple of dates to keep in mind. So on the 30th, Mercury is retrograding into Aquarius. We've been in the pre-shadow for a while. And the couple days after that, I keep forgetting there's 31 days in January. On February 1st, Venus will move into Aquarius. This will kind of be nice. Even though Mercury is going to be retrograding, this is going to be nice because it's actually going to bring some perspective. Because Venus will be joining Jupiter and Saturn and Mercury all in Aquarius, which that Aquarian energy is what's allowing us to think outside the box, is allowing us to kind of find detours to these roadblocks that Uranus and all this Taurian energy keeps throwing up, in our way. So it will provide perspective. And if you've had any misunderstandings or fights with somebody during the full moon Leo, or will have any fights, because this is a 2-week energy, right? Or will have any fights during this full moon Leo with anybody, this will provide some better understanding and some perspective on it. It could go the other way if you get really stubborn with it or really stubborn with what happens, then it could go the other way for you. But just keep in mind that's a potential positive to kind of look forward to. Okay? And Mercury's retrograding in a few days, and then 2 days later, Venus moves into Aquarius to join it. So that's not too bad. Not too bad of a period to wait for that. Yep, and then on February 11th, we have the new moon in Aquarius, which will then put the sun, the moon, Venus, and Mercury, and Jupiter, and Saturn all in Aquarius. So that one's going to be really cool. That one's going to be interesting. All right, that's basically all the aspect stuff. Before we get into the spreads, let me check on the chat. Is the square with Uranus and Saturn one of 3 this year? Oh, that might be exact. I'm gonna double check the degrees. Yeah, that's gonna be exact. Yeah, so that Alejandra, that square you're talking about is an exact square. Yeah, and after that, the shift is gonna happen where it kind of like, dissipates for a little bit and then comes back around after retrogrades happen. Yeah, so something to keep in mind. My sun is in Taurus. Saturn is in Taurus. My life is all about restriction. 5th house is getting blasted, fun. All Libra, but Aqua North Node is getting fired up in Leo. Taurus Sun is Leo rising, and North Node Leo. Ooh. Oh, you're feeling it, Serafina. You're gonna be feeling it in a good way, I think. Honestly, it's all good, right? It's just a matter of perspective. It's all good. It's all good. It's all positive. So I'm gonna get a little sip of tea, and then we're gonna start pulling some cards. Oh. Hitting it off, not in this economy. I mean, that's kind of the other thing too, right? It's like when Uranus is creating a lot of squares or a lot of like difficult, I'll just say difficult, creating a lot of difficult aspects. And then you have Aquarius in the mix, creating difficult aspects. And then placements that are not beneficial to start with, like Mars and Taurus on its own is hard, creating difficult aspects. You are going to see a lot of economic disturbance, especially just as it relates to Uranus, because Uranus does kind of relate to community. It also relates to technology and currency. Taurus, it's in Taurus and aspecting Mars and Taurus. That also has to do with money, economy, currency, second house, foundations. And then Aquarius is really shaking shit up. Like, yeah, I don't expect the economy to be stable for quite some time, to be honest. I expect a lot of continued ups and downs with that for most of the 2020s. Most of the 2020s. I'm gonna say that again. Yeah, most of the 2020s. We're gonna have a lot of economic instability. I wonder if things will go out of whack because my birthday is on the 31st. These transits are pretty personal to me now. My first, 7th, and 8th house are all being affected with this moon. Oh man, that's cool though. It's like your 1st and 7th house, like that's so transformative. That is like such an opportunity for major transformation. So I think that's always a positive. Even if it's hard, I consider that to be a positive. Okay. All right, let's get started. What deck am I going with first for full moon Leo? What deck am I going with first for full moon Leo? They're really pulling me towards Romance Angels, which they've been doing a lot more recently. So I'm just gonna go with it. Ooh. Any messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? I feel like my guides are being really sassy. Where's Clyde? He is on the other bed. He's on the corner of the other bed. Yeah, I feel like my guides are being kind of sassy. I just heard there will be lessons in communication. Okay. There will be lessons in communication. Oh, is it someone's birthday? I just saw Happy Solar Return. My birthday is on Friday, so I'm praying this whole week will be amazing. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy I held my frustrations in after my morning shift. Yes, LOL, there will be lessons. Yes, lessons in communication. Any messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? They are bringing up something I already talked about. To really pay attention to the difference of like lust versus like healthy sexual energy. And not to say lust isn't healthy, because I think lust has its place and its moments. As a Scorpio, I could be biased. But yeah, the difference between like distorted and healthy sexual energy. Like there is a difference. There is a difference. Oh, and look what almost flipped out. The religious factors card. Yeah, there is a difference. Any messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? Am I taking those? No. Okay. Thank you. Any messages for the full moon Leo cycle for my patrons? Education. Why did education just come up? Why is education coming up here? Education. I think that's more of a personal channeling for some, like for some of you, or one of you. Something about education. Wanting to go into education, wanting to like be a teacher, or like, yeah, that's almost like the vibe I'm getting. Like wanting to be a teacher, or even a preacher. No, teacher. Okay, they corrected me really quick. Teacher, not preacher, teacher. I think there's like whoever this is for. I think there's a lot of frustrations with it, but there will be a time and a place for that. There will be a time and a place for that. So pay attention to the red flags just came out. I'm already getting nervous. The signs are cautioning you. Scary. I'm a college teacher. I'm in school. One of the two. Yeah, I feel like this is something about like needing to be a teacher or wanting to be an actual teacher. Doesn't even have to be with like formal education. It could even be just like creating your own classes or even just wanting to pass on your knowledge. But that's what it's feeling like to me. It's like wanting to be a teacher, wanting to teach others in some kind of structured way, but it doesn't have to be the standard formal education. But that there's been like blocks with that, like roadblocks or like difficulty doing it, and there is going to be a time and a place. But let's go back to the reading for a second. This makes me nervous, guys. This makes me so nervous. The red flags card. Again, there is a lot of caution to be harnessed and to kind of have during this cycle, just because as far as like, even like with your own shit, well, even with other people's shit, right? There is this really easy propensity to get very angry or for that shit to come up to the surface or to have conflict with yourself or conflict with other people, and something to be cautious and aware of. But also when we get angry, it comes from somewhere, right? And it is important to pay attention as to where that comes from. But let's keep going. I feel like there's a lot more to that card, but we'll see. I feel like there's a lot more to that card. Wait a minute. Okay. Anger is in relation to the anger. Even with anger, even though anger can be very distracting, like when you're in it or even when you're dealing with someone who's very angry, it does show a lot. It does express a lot that doesn't normally come out. That a lot of people keep repressed, or even that we keep repressed. There's something about anger that's going to be very revealing during this time if you pay attention to it. It kind of feels a little bit like the weekly messages that I did, like finally being able to say the shit that you couldn't say, or to say the shit that you might have needed to say, even if it's tactless, even if it's done in an unhealthy way, at least it's been said. Like there is something about some like truth coming out in the form of anger that is worth paying attention to, but also this like caution of how you're using it. But let's keep going. Unrequited love. There's enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Yikes. So again, I'm getting a lot of stuff for this. First of all, I am getting kind of what I already talked about with Venus conjunct Pluto, that there is a possibility to attract someone at this time or meet someone at this time that it's actually not healthy. Like it's shadowy love, and be mindful of that. But also unrequited love speaks of major imbalance, right? And I'm getting that with the anger. I'm getting a lot of anger with this in general. Some of you, it is about sexual energy, distorted sexual energy, and that kind of coming to the forefront, but almost mistaking it for like a healthy sexual situation. So also be mindful of that. Yeah, I'm literally getting anger and sex for the most part. Anger and sex. Very interesting emotions. Anger and sex. Pay attention to it because there's truth there. There is truth there to be seen. There is something to be learned from this shit coming up, even if it's hard, but also to walk that line of being very aware of how you also throw that energy at people. How you might throw your anger at somebody, or someone throws their anger at you, or that distorted sexual energy comes up and you want to throw that at somebody, or someone throws that at you, right? Even though it's unbalanced, there's something that's being revealed through those energies, if you pay attention to it. Okay. And it is a full moon. Keep that in mind too. I can't believe I didn't say this during the astrology portion. Full moons are revealing. Full moons do reveal shit, right? Any other messages from my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? Ooh. 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 Oh, I just got the chills. So we got deception and soulmate. So again, shit's gonna be revealed, okay? Some sort of truth is gonna be revealed. The truth about yourself, truth about another person, truth about a connection, truth about a situation. Seems like there are people involved in this as far as connections are concerned. Whether it is through anger or some sort of distorted sexual energy, whatever has been underlying the surface or repressed is going to come out, and the truth will come out via anger or distorted sexual energy. Some of you might realize that you were dealing with someone who's not healthy for you. Some of you might meet someone who's not healthy for you. But yeah, this is rough. This is kind of rough looking. All right. Overall, we do have give your relationship a chance. Attraction. Oh, wow. And then we have, it's safe for you to love, this worth waiting for, and this could be the one. Very interesting. So we deal with people for all different reasons, right? So no matter what is revealed to you, by way of anger, by way of distorted sexual energy, it is pushing all of us in the right direction, okay? If we pay attention to what truth is being highlighted in those moments of anger, in those moments of distorted sexual energy, especially with attraction. I like that attraction is here with give your relationship a chance, because attraction to me is, how do I say this? Attraction to me is like that card of surrender, right? It's that card of acceptance. Yeah, acceptance. Acceptance of what truth is coming up here that has been underlying the surface. So this is going to be coming in different forms for all of you, but that's kind of how I'm getting it. Let me look at the chat for a second. I have an uncle that's so mad at me due to business. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. My mid-year evaluations next Monday. I'm very angry that they're evaluating me on tests that admin has already acknowledged are inaccurate. I'm trying to remember the great aspects of my job. Oh, I'm sorry. That's hard. That's hard. Let's see. He stopped me being my business partner 2 years ago, and now I'm not paying no more. He's so upset. Okay. All right. So let's get back to it. Oh, let's look at pay attention to the red flags. Because like I said, there's something about the anger and sexual energy that's coming up. And this is all different scenarios for you guys. So keep that in mind. Please only take the messages as they resonate for you. Because some of you might just experience this through anger with someone or yourself. Some of you might experience this through some distorted sexual energy. Some of you might realize that you've been harnessing or acting from distorted sexual energy versus healthy sexual energy. Whatever the source of that is for you, your personal source is going to highlight that imbalance for you, and highlight whatever truth you've been having trouble seeing or accepting about yourself or another person or a connection. Okay? Yeah, let's look at paying attention to the red flags. I'm gonna do the Tarot Illuminati. Talk about paying attention to the red flags. Tell me how to pay attention to the red flags. Ooh. The Ten of Swords. In reverse. Pain. Right? Pain and discomfort. Being expressed through anger. Being expressed by way of also distorted sexual energy. For some, I'm getting with distorted sexual energy, how do I say this? Almost there's an avoidance with this. What is the avoidance that I'm getting? I'm actually getting a sense of control with the distorted sexual energy. Yeah, I'm getting like this is weird. There's a controlling energy with the distorted sexual energy that I'm feeling. Again, this isn't going to be for everybody. It's like being controlling with your sexual energy, being dominant with your sexual energy. It's like not only to avoid pain, Some are almost using it as a way to kind of numb pain a little bit. Um, but I'm also getting like to avoid like very painful situations. Like if you're in control sexually, um, you can avoid disaster. I feel like that's got to come from wounding, but yeah, that's got to come from wounding. But that is what I'm getting. That's obviously not for everybody. But with the Ten of Swords in reverse, I feel like it's literally representing source of pain, source of anger, source of frustration. So I gotta pay attention to the red flags. Ooh, fire! Fire. Also very representative of sexual energy with the Queen of Wands, Aries energy. Oh boy. Also representative of anger. Yeah, if I were to pick any queen or king to represent sexual energy and anger, I would pick the Queen of Wands. Even over the King of Wands, I would pick the Queen of Wands, even though the King is technically Leo energy. Yeah, that is control right there. That is somebody who has confidence to control situations. I almost feel like it's like hiding that Ten of Swords energy. Um, Hiding that Ten of Swords energy by way of like using anger to mask it, or it's just coming from that anger is coming from that Ten of Swords, and also that sexual energy of control and attraction, being able to pull someone in, being able to dominate a sexual situation is to hide that, to avoid that. Yeah, it's interesting. Let's keep going. Try to pay attention to the red flags. So I'll pay attention to the red flags. Now we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. That is, geez, that's actually a distorted love card for me personally as a reader. Like an inappropriate lover is what I would classify the Knight of Cups as. Either someone who can't give anything or gives for their own purposes, or manipulative manipulative purposes even. It's misusing emotions, it's misusing the heart, or not using it at all. Coming in here right next to the Queen of Wands again, I think definitely leans towards having that anger and really lacking the compassion, but it's because there's this Ten of Swords energy that's not being addressed and not being dealt with, and it's coming out via anger, or it's being poked at and it's coming out via anger. And also really speaks to the sexual distortion that I keep getting with the Queen of Wands and Knight of Cups in reverse. Overall, we do have Empress in reverse. Ooh, underneath that, we've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. Oh, with the Knight of Swords in reverse. That Queen of Swords in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse, that is like conflict. That is like tactless communication, blurting shit out and not thinking it through. So it's exactly what I was talking about, the astrology. Empress in reverse is also very ungrounded energy. It could also be somebody who, how do I say it, is not very nurturing, or not nurturing themselves or nurturing other people. So keep in mind, this could be all your energy, or it could be someone that you're dealing with. We're all kind of subject to this as a collective, and we might experience it both ways during this time. Okay. Wait, did I just... Oh, I was like, I thought that's what that said. Wow, this is ugly. Hey, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's like, we're all human, and we all have the rainbow of human emotions and experiences, right? It's like, this shit comes to the surface to be dealt with, okay? It comes to the surface to be dealt with. It has to come up, yeah. I got chills with that queen. Yeah. Would have expected Queen of Wands in reverse. It is what it is. Some readers also sage and clear the decks with meditation. I do that. I've just never called it prepping, as she could tell by looking at them. Yeah, everyone handles their decks differently. I might do a video on it at some point. Like, and I've really changed how I handle my decks through time. Like, especially with the channel, I've gone through phases of doing different things because I feel called to do things differently. Yeah, so everyone does it differently. I actually don't, my personal opinion about sage is to not use it that excessively. Because sage clears everything. Like, sage is very powerful. And sometimes you don't want to clear everything every day. It's like sometimes you need certain energies to stay around, especially positive energy, because sage clears everything. You know what I mean? Hey, if you've been dealing with like a shadowy person and they've been in your space, by all means, sage that shit, right? By all means, sage it. But yeah, I don't sage my space, even my workspace, all the time, because I need some energies to stick around with me, and in the readings too. But anyway, That's a whole other video. Yeah. Yeah. Yikes. Um, for some, this anger, I'm feeling I'm getting a channeling for some of you. For some of you, this anger, it's almost like, how do I say it, of not getting a reaction out of somebody or not getting a certain situation the way you want it to be. I feel like that's fear based. I do feel like that's fear based. And all of a sudden this like anger comes into play, and it's like finally being able to like have that, finally having that outburst a little bit of not properly processing what's been making you angry about a situation. Yeah, I keep getting like not delivering with unrequited love and deception and soulmate, because there hasn't been a voicing of this. Yeah, so for those where that applies, there's been a lack of using your voice. Like there's been a lack of really expressing how you haven't been happy with a situation, or how a situation might be unrequited or very imbalanced, or like one person's all in and one person's not, or someone's not pulling their weight. It could even be a work scenario. It doesn't have to be romantic related. And I feel like this is that anger of like, hey, like I don't like how this shit's going, and I need you to do something about it. And again, be very careful here, because these two cards, very tactless. Very tactless, which again, I'm not being judgmental. It's just the cards that are out here. It's just the energies that are out here. But I think once this stuff is kind of handled and kind of brought to the surface, and some truth and light can be once the light is kind of shining the truth through, even if it is by way of anger or distorted sexual energy, it's just a push in the right direction, because it's something that needs to be dealt with. Deception. We're gonna look at deception with soulmate, because I feel like I said, it's just that veil of illusion, that of the, sorry, words. I feel like it's just the veil of illusion that's covering up the Ten of Swords energy. Yeah, not being expressed, not being spoken to within a connection or to another person. Whatever that Ten of Swords energy is. And maybe there's even like a lack of understanding of that. Like, of, oh, I am feeling this shit. I am experiencing this shit, and this is why I'm actually angry about this. This is why I'm actually upset about this. And maybe even that could be deception for some of you, of not even seeing that for yourself, or a person you're dealing with not seeing that for themselves. It's going to come in different ways. But let's look at deception, and then we'll move on to a new spread. I'm going to use Crystal Visions. Talk about deception. I'm just reading all your comments. Oh my god, I feel so seen. Talking about deception. So it's interesting. The Magician just came out, and initially when it popped out, it was in reverse, and then it spun, and then it went upright. So that's really interesting. I like that, because I feel like that's also almost that's almost a little hidden message here of like, you can handle dealing with this anger, you can handle dealing with this distorted sexual energy, you can handle the source of where this shit comes from, and you can transmute it for yourself. You can transmute it within a connection if you pay attention. Like, I keep getting this, like, if you just keep paying attention, like, it's there, it's like obvious, it's like there to be seen for a reason. But it is easy when people are angry to get caught up in the anger and to lose sight and to lose that intuitive knowing. Again, I keep getting that feeling with attraction, like that's why it's here. It's like to be in that moment of surrender and to not get caught up in the chaos of anger, or even the lusty attraction impulsivity of sexual energy, especially distorted sexual energy. Yeah. 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 You guys are very capable of handling this. Talking about deception. Now, also, this energy is going to highlight if you have been dealing with someone who's like not healthy for you, or someone who is very imbalanced when it comes to you, or vice versa. That is going to be highlighted. That truth will most certainly be highlighted, and you guys will handle that if you are in that boat. And no matter what, again, this is all just a push in a better direction. Talking about deception, whether it's your personal evolution or dealing. Now the Emperor is out here. Oh! It's interesting too, because as you guys know, I've been talking a lot about distorted feminine energy. And a lot of like this anger and distorted sexual energy that I'm getting is actually directly tied to feminine energy in the cards, energetically speaking. You got 2 queens, you got an Empress here. And then the way that you guys can handle this, Magician with the Emperor. The Emperor with the Magician is mastery. It is like, that is mastery of the self. That is mastery of energy. It is having that like, that ability to control a situation, not to control it for like, you know, dominating purposes, but to transmute it, to be like, wait a minute, I have enough self-control and enough maturity and, you know, control over my impulses and my anger and all that shit to kind of take a step back and see what's going on here and see how to rework this, or see how to handle this, or see how to transmute this. So it's like there is something about the masculine energy here being very key in handling this anger, handling this distorted sexual energy as it relates to feminine energy. That seems to be the one that's having the struggle with the anger, the distorted sexual energy, the Ten of Swords energy. This doesn't have to be like the man in this situation is like this, while the female is the other way. This is all within yourself. This is all within yourself. So get into that masculine energy of yours to handle this. Okay? Talking about deception. Wow, nice. Hangman in reverse with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. With this ability to transmute the situation, dealing with the anger, dealing with the distorted sexual energy, dealing with the Ten of Swords energy, where all this comes from initially, can shift your perspective. The Hangman. Hangman in reverse is a shift in your spirituality, a shift in your understanding, a shift in your inner knowing. It's also going from being stuck to having movement. That 2 of Pentacles in reverse, I am getting imbalance, very, very much like that unrequited energy. Some of you might have to make some decisions as a result of all of this, and that's fine. But this is basically saying like, yeah, harness that energy and then shift. And then shift accordingly. And then overall, we've got the Fool. Beautiful. With the 10 of Cups in reverse and Judgment. Oh, wow. With the Queen of Wands again. Very nice. Yeah. So with this ability to transmute this energy and deal with this energy in a healthy way. And some of you, this could be learning the skills to do that, right? Like I always say, with hard aspects, it's not about them being hard. It's about them looking at it with a silver lining, like, oh, how can I grow from this? This is growth. This is growth. And with the Fool card, that Fool is like, that is like a whole, like after that shift, it's having that breath of fresh air, having a little bit of a clean slate when it comes to these unhappy emotions. With the 10 of Cups in reverse of the anger, the distorted sexual energy, and with Judgment and the Queen of Wands, it is not just heading in the right direction with Judgment, but it is also about having that higher perspective that you've now gained for yourself when it comes to your own anger and your own sexual energy. Okay? Nice. I like how that ended. That was very nice. I love the colors of these cards. These are the Crystal Visions. Yeah, I love this deck. I love this deck. I need to harness that masculine energy has been coming up a lot in my own personal readings lately so that I can structure my life to grow in the right direction. Nice. New beginnings. It does love new beginnings. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's the first spread. We're going to do a second one. Let's see. Usually my anger outbursts directly related to deep, deep hurts. Oh. Full circle energy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. This is all about not letting my circumstances control me, like my ex controlling my day. Oh yeah. That shit ain't cool. Missed these. Yeah. Guys, I love connecting with you and I love doing these readings. So it's like, I know when I like don't have the right space or energy to do them, I get kind of bummed. Because it is very enjoyable for me, and we get to kind of hang out and we can talk about stuff sometimes. Um, Hold on, let me go scroll down the chat. Yeah, no, I like doing these a lot. All right, what are we gonna do for the next one? Usually I do 3 for those who are new. Wait, by the way, that Bommy episode was amazing. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. I still haven't scheduled the live chat for that one yet. Most likely it's going to be February, so I can get the monthlies done. I missed you, epic, soul tribe vibes. I'm dealing with judgment. Judging others causes me to fear expressing myself, to fear of judgment. Yeah, feminine needs a bit of healing. Yeah, that judgment energy, like that very critical feminine energy is so big and so strong. And obviously it's energy, right? So like gender doesn't matter. It's like men and women alike feel that in relation to feminine energy. God, I like, see, now I just want to talk about this. I do. I just want to talk about this part of feminine energy that's being dealt with. But I think that's come up a lot for people. I know for me personally, I've had so much mom stuff the last couple days, and my mom's a Leo sun. Uh, uh, yeah, I've had a lot of mom stuff coming up, and it's just like, oh man, especially when it comes to like that critical feminine voice versus like, I think that's what it is. Hold on a second. Let's talk about this, and then we'll move on to another spread. I think that is part of the distortion too, like another layer of it. Because feminine voice, like feminine power is also using the voice, but that critical voice, that judgmental voice, that is distorted feminine energy, right? And it's like when it could be used for healthier feminine energy, it's like, God, that's so true. Yeah, feminine power is in the voice, but distorted feminine energy is speaking judgment, speaking criticism. And men and women alike experience that, That's interesting. Yeah, I've been super sensitive to that feminine judgment recently, and it brings out a lot of mean neighbor moms I dealt with as a kid. I was having a hard time being triggered by my husband for the past several days, and all of a sudden it got better. Good. I think my feminine energy was sitting in some kind of expectation. It has tripped me up. Expectation is a weird thing. Hi, I'm Rita. Hi. What's that book? Oh no, wait, no, that speaks of assumptions. I guess assumptions and expectation is kind of the same thing. I think with expectation, it is kind of like that fine line of like having an understanding of what you need, right? What you need versus what you want. And then when we have that expectation of ourselves, that's one thing, of meeting those needs versus meeting the wants, because those are very different expectations. But then placing those expectations on the external to meet our needs or our wants, I think can be very hard. And I think most of the time is probably not the most beneficial thing to do. I'm not going to say not do it because we're all human, but yeah, expectation's a fine line of that. What's the need versus the want? And then are you really doing this for yourself, or are you expecting it to come from the external? Yeah, I think those are the fine lines with that. When you were talking about your relationship with females growing up, it was so surreal for me. I've experienced the same. I think many women have. Honestly, like, I don't think my experience with women is very uncommon. I think that's like, I hate to say the norm, at least for the United States, at least in this country. I think that's the norm for most females. And I think depending on the kind of female, like, someone like me, or even like you guys, because we're a soul tribe, right? We've had the same. I think we experience it so heavily because it's that undeniable mirror, right? It's the undeniable truth of like, of kind of seeing our hearts and seeing our energy, and it's like, oh, feminine power, let's like not have this going on. Let's not let this shine bright next to our distorted feminine energy. And not to say we don't have distorted feminine energy, because we do too, right? We do too. I'm 45 and I don't have female friends. Yeah, it's really sad. I feel like most females do not have female friends. Like, I don't know why they portray all these movies like females are so close, because we're so not. We are so not. I'm trying to even remember back to watching my family with other females, even like my family members that were not awake or like, you know what I mean? Like really, really matrixy. Yeah, and it's like the only female that had a lot of female friends was super, super matrixy and also super fake and not real and not authentic. And it was, and even in my mind, I remember that. Yeah, it's like I remember even watching my cousin with her female friends, and it's like, do you like each other? I'm confused. I don't know. Do you like each other? um, I do, but it's because I tend to take on the mother role. See, and then oh my God, that's another thing. See, wait, how did this turn into a whole like like feminine wounding chat? Because I was gonna say that's the other thing, right? It's like when I've had close relationships with females, it's been that. It's been me taking on like a fatherly role. Not, I don't necessarily take on a mother role because of my own wounding, but yeah, taking on some kind of parental role with them, right? Um, my bad, LMAO. Um, sad, necessary to be done with that mess. All my female friends tend to have a more masculine energy and vibe like me. Oh, let's focus on energy with this problem. Yeah. None of us have female friends. Good, I'll just get together. I know, right? It's like, how can this be so universal? It's sad that it's so universal. Like, I know, like, even society kind of pokes fun at it. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm going on a huge thought train here, and I didn't mean to. Because, like, society pokes fun at it sometimes that like females can be like that with each other, but men are so close in their bro group. It's like there's a reason. There's a reason. It's sad, but it's such deep wounding. But anyway, okay, let's get back. Let's get back. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes up in the next reading, because you guys know how these videos go. For anybody who's new, this kind of tends to be what happens. It's like we suddenly get on a thought train and it actually shows up in the next reading, or it somehow relates to the next reading, even if it wasn't that long of a thought train. But anyway, yeah, let's jump into the next one. Oh, full moon Leo, full moon Leo, full moon Leo. Ooh, that one's gonna be sad. I can feel it. They're pulling me to the beautiful creatures deck. I can already feel it. It's such a sad energy. Let's do it. I got chills right now. Yeah, I like, oh, where are we going now? Where are we going now? Any messages for my patrons for the full cycle? Any messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? Any messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? My crown is hurting. Okay. Any messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? I feel like the Five of Cups is going to come out. If it doesn't come out, I'd be surprised. I keep getting Five of Cups feels. There's like a loneliness that I'm feeling with this sadness, major loneliness. I feel like this is reflecting on a pattern. I don't feel like it's a very present like moment, like someone's isolating themselves. It feels like it's I have a feeling I might cry. Well, if you cry, then you're purging, right? So that's good. Yeah, I'm getting like a very heavy loneliness feel to this. Yeah, definitely pattern. Any messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? I saw the Tower card wanted to come out. We'll see if it actually comes out. Any messages for my patrons? Oh, Nine of Cups in reverse. Definitely leans a little bit towards that Five of Cups energy. Nine of Cups in reverse can be very depressive energy. It can be overindulgence. I keep getting isolated. I keep getting major lonely vibes here. For some, this might actually be reflection on addiction. I'm getting a little bit of that. Reflection on addiction in times of loneliness, in moments of isolation. It feels so Five of Cups to me. Like some of you guys might actually be about depression. Your history of it, maybe even if you are getting depressed now or upcoming, you might reflect back on your pattern with that. But that's what I'm getting. depressed vibes, lonely vibes, and definite like addiction or vices or substances um, to deal with that. Whatever form it comes in for you personally, whoever's resonating with this. Oh, God. 10 of Cups in reverse. So now we got the 9 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Cups in reverse. So there's an Ace of Cups at play here. Ace of Cups can mean a lot of things. I've started to look at the Ace of Cups as just like a heart, which I really like that feeling of it. It is that emotional desire for what's possible, the emotional desire of like, ooh, like the possibility for happiness is the Ace of Cups. That's how I've been looking at it. The possibility and want for happiness. With the 9 of Cups in reverse and 10 of Cups in reverse, this is a very dismal energy of that. This is like wanting to have that hope for it, but not having it. Like the lack of hope for happiness and emotional contentment. And also lack of support with the 10 of Cups in reverse. That can be a very depressive environment or a very upsetting family situation or domestic situation. And I keep getting isolation. So even if you have like people that you're living with or whatever your domestic situation is, again, I feel like this is more pattern related than present. It just feels like a pattern of having no support emotionally from a tribe or your family or within your own domestic situation. So it could even lean towards living alone. And also being very depressed in that, feeling very lonely in that. And I keep getting substance or addiction with that too. And addiction comes in all forms. Believe me, I've had, even for myself, I've had a weird variety of addictions. Even working out was an addiction for me at some point. I feel like reflecting on that pattern. And for some of you might start reflecting on that because it's coming up again. God, it's like, that's so sad the way I'm feeling it. I'm like literally feeling like the Ace of Cups, like wanting to have hope for Ace of Cups, wanting to have hope for happiness and emotional support, but not having it. Like being very aware that you want hope for it, but you don't have it. That to me screams depression. And again, this doesn't have to be you. It could be someone you're dealing with. Any other messages? And don't forget Leo. Oh man. Don't forget Leo is big heart energy, right? Leo is like heart space, along with the solar, but I look at Leo as the heart. So the Hierophant just came out. It wanted to come out sideways, which tells me it, like, you know, it's kind of chaotic and it's a little in between upright or reverse, how you would interpret it. But I'm an intuitive reader. So the Hierophant comes in a lot of flavors for those who are new to tarot. Hierophant speaks of institutions and contracts. It also speaks of ethics. It also speaks of what you learn to be the right thing, right? I'm actually getting an imprisonment energy with this. I'm getting restricted, suffocated. I feel like a lot of this unhappiness and this depression almost comes from like feeling restricted by rules and expectations and standards and feeling really trapped by it. Almost like, I know I want to be happy. I keep trying to do the things that are supposed to make me happy, or I keep trying to honor the people around me, like in the way that I'm supposed to, but it's not making me happy. It literally feels like I keep doing the right thing and nothing's working, or what I think is the right thing and nothing's working. You keep getting rules and standards. Even if it was learned by your environment, like from your family, to do things a certain way. Any other messages for my patrons as it pertains to this spread? Any other messages for my patrons as it pertains to this spread? I think I just got a food channeling. I don't know if anybody's eating nachos. I just got something about nachos. That was very weird. Or maybe that's like one of your like comfort foods. Something about nachos. I think that's very funny. Maybe you're eating nachos right now. Oh, see, yeah, Ace of Pentacles in reverse coming in right after the Hierophant. Ace of Pentacles in reverse is lost opportunities or instability, like not even able to kind of get started on a path. Oh, yeah. Because I keep trying to do what I've been told is right. I keep trying to follow the rules. I keep trying to, honor these contracts with the people I live with or my family or what I've learned to do as the right thing. And it's not working and I'm not happy. And I keep missing out on what I think is happiness. Wait, hold on. Nachos are the weight of my heart. I was like, I literally just saw nachos. I was like, nachos. Okay, nachos. But yeah, creating that Ace of Pentacles in reverse opportunity. Oh, interesting. I was gonna say energy, but I said opportunity. For some of you, this might get triggered. This might trigger up in the next couple weeks because you might actually miss out on something because of this, like, I'm supposed to do it this way, I'm supposed to do it this way, or I thought I was supposed to do it this way. I keep trying to just pursue happiness, but it's not working. I keep doing it the way that I thought I was supposed to or learned how to do so. Or even honor, I keep getting honoring people too. Like honoring people the way that I'm supposed to. Beautiful. Thank God. 8 of Cups. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is leaving. Okay. Right? This is emotionally moving on. Oh. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh my God. Oh. It's like I choked on my words. This is a very emotion-based reading. Holy crap. Oh man. Some of you might need to have a very honest conversation as a result of this. Not all of you, obviously, but some of you, my throat chakra really flipped the fuck out talking about that. Oh God. I love that this is out here. I love that the 8 of Cups is out here because it is emotional movement. It's, I'm not going to sit in this place emotionally anymore. I'm going to figure out a way to get to my 10 of Cups. The 8 always goes to the 10. I'm going to figure out a way to not sit here in this energy and subject myself to this shit over and over and over again. Again, most of this is a pattern more so than just a present issue. But some of you, a present issue or an upcoming situation might trigger this reflection of this pattern and just decide, I'm just not doing this emotionally anymore. I love that. I love that card's there. The 8 of Cups can sometimes also indicate a need for physical movement as well. It is about the emotional moving on, the emotional shift. But sometimes emotional shifts can lead to physical shifts. So just keep that in mind as well. And remember, full moons are about highlighting truth, right? So this full moon might just highlight more of this pattern to you and the need for that 8 of Cups energy. Wow, Jesus. Overall, we've got the Star in reverse. Could it get even more emotional? 6 of Cups in reverse. Then we have the Hermit in reverse. We had another 8 with the 8 of Pentacles. Kind of going to work a little bit with that 8 of Pentacles, Virgo, Hermit, Virgo energy. Yeah, so the fact we have the 9 of Cups in reverse with the Star in reverse, with the 6 of Cups in reverse, that's depression. That is depression. That is a pattern of depression. That is a pattern of disappointment. Yeah. The only other cards I think that would indicate that would be the 5 and possibly the Devil. But water really trumps the Devil when it comes to that kind of energy. But with the Star in reverse, the 6 of Cups in reverse, the 6 of Cups card is my pattern card. Because it speaks of the past, it speaks of karmic lessons, it also speaks of the soul energy, it also speaks of childhood, it also speaks of memories and nostalgia. So 6 of Cups is my patterns card, history card. Star in reverse is not having faith, it's not having that hope, it's not having that enlightenment, not having that sight, but Again, I feel like it just speaks to the pattern of that depressive, sad, lonely, isolated energy, very unhappy memories, possibly unhappy childhood stuff. Um, for some of you. Then we get the Hermit in reverse with the Eight of Pentacles. This is a need to do the work. This is a need to kind of get really focused and very diligent, which I think the Eight of Pentacles is leading right into the Eight of Cups. Like being very diligent and having this emotional shift away from this pattern and not sitting here. It's almost like sitting in the Hierophant in a very unnecessary, unhealthy way. Like sitting in the book of the programming, sitting in the book of, well, this is what I was told to do. This is what I've always done. It doesn't work, but I keep trying to do it, or I keep needing to do it, or needing to honor contracts, etc., etc., etc. But it just leaves me with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. So we're going to look at the Eight of Cups. We're going to clarify that. Everything else to me is energy that you guys are going to transmute and work past if this is your energy. If this is for someone you guys know or you're connected to, they're eventually going to move into the Eight of Cups by way of just really focusing on themselves and their emotions and just making the conscious decision of, I'm not going to do this stuff the same way. I'm not going to keep myself to that restriction that leads to just depression and leads to sadness and feeling like I'm not happy, like basically. So let's look at the Eight of Cups. Ooh, I kind of want to do the Sanctum Workday. Let's do that one. What spread is she on? 2. Almost done with 2. I feel the Eight of Wands is going to pop out. Yeah, we already got 2 8s. I wouldn't be surprised if Eight of Wands comes out. It's like, I do feel like a physical shift with this for some of you. And my third chakra did kind of flip out. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Eight of Wands comes out. So I have the Eight of Cups. Cups. Eight of Cups, please. For my patrons, for the full moon Leo. Top 8 of Cups. Something about generosity. Why is generosity coming in here? Like the word generosity is coming in. That's weird. Can I get more on that? I feel like it's about being generous to yourself more than the right thing, the thing you're supposed to do. Leo energy sometimes gets a bad rap for being selfish. Sometimes gets a bad rap for that. But Leo energy is very generous. Leo energy is that big, open-hearted energy. And sometimes Leos are generous to a fault. Sometimes they put themselves in bad situations because of that big-hearted, generous energy. I guess, I feel like it's just basically emphasizing, like, harness that Leo generosity and really use it for yourself in a healthy way if you're dealing with this. And if you are dealing with people that you've been trying to honor contracts for, or to, however you grammatically correctly say that, be generous with those that give back to you. Like, be generous, like, to those that really, like, help put you in a healthy place or help keep you in a healthy place, not the energies that keep you here. Right? So I have the Eight of Cups. Time of the Eight of Cups. I'm also getting belief systems. For some of you, this emotional shift is going to also lead to a shift in your own belief system. Ooh, wow. That's some energy right there. So now we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the Judgment card in reverse. That Seven of Swords in reverse, for me as a reader, is kind of like revisiting the scene of the crime, or like the truth of some kind of sabotage or shady situation or something that just ain't kosher or just ain't right comes to the surface and highlights this. So what's being highlighted is the Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Judgment card in reverse. Judgment card in reverse is like, it's kind of like a thumbs down. You can like generally say Judgment in reverse is like something's not right. Something is not cool. Something is out of alignment, or something is really going against your spiritual health, your well-being, whether it's something you're doing or something you're experiencing or something you're being subjected to. Page of Pentacles in reverse can be a very greedy energy. It can be a very deceitful energy as well. Very taking. Oh, excuse me. Very taking. So I think that's why they were giving me that word generous. That Hierophant energy, it's like a duty energy. It's honoring shit that is not anything you should be honoring, and it's trapping you. Not only is it trapping you, it's taking your energy. Some of you guys might actually have a lot of physical depletion along with this depression. For some of you, I feel like it's also been a pattern of trying to hide your depression too. That's kind of coming up a little bit here. But realizing that whatever the Hierophant represents for you, the ethics of your family, your own programming, the institutions you have to deal with, whatever contracts you have to honor, or whatever you think is the right thing to do by the book, so to speak, that's been leading to this depression and instability with yourself, it's actually been taking from you. It hasn't been giving anything to you, it's actually been taking from you. And I think that's going to be highlighted, which is going to help with this emotional shift. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. Allie! Hey! Had to stop by in the middle of work, but wanted to check this out. Aw, thanks for stopping by. We need to catch up. So much noise to catch up on. Man, this is calling me out, even though I'm better the past couple days. With husband is just a loop I keep repeating. Awareness is half the battle, right? Okay, yes, we do. Okay, I need to send you some pictures. A mental note, I'm telling you because I want to and need to, but also to say it out loud because I mental note. Where was I? Sorry. Eight of Cups. Talking about the Eight of Cups. Two of Pentacles just came out. Oh, man. So now we have the Two of Pentacles. I'll remind you later. Okay, thank you. Where was I? Two of Pentacles just came out with all of this. So like I said, there is a shift happening. So some of you guys might need to make some decisions as a result of this. But Two of Pentacles also speaks of balance that you are not having here. That you're not having here with this. Maintaining that balance. And I love that this is actually portrayed as like two skulls like that. Because sometimes I mistake this for the Two of Cups. Because it looks like that. But finding stability for yourself, getting a foothold on your own stability, putting you first, being generous with yourself, and not really adhering or aligning to standards of doing things, rules, expectations that keep you unhappy or keep you stuck or keep you unstable. So I like that. It's the decision to have that emotional shift. And speaking of emotional shift, the overall energy is the Queen of Cups. It's that big-hearted, yummy energy. Queen of Cups is the emotional, Queen of Emotions, Queen of Water, Queen of Intuition and Feeling as well, and Queen of Love. Underneath that, what's interesting is that we have the Hierophant, reflecting on the Hierophant energy. The Queen of Cups is very reflective as well. It's very introspective energy, reflecting on this Hierophant energy that's causing you all those problems. And look, the Tower in reverse with the Ten of Cups in reverse and the Devil. Wow, major need for this shift. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And then here's that Eight of Wands that someone was calling out. Blockage, blockage after blockage after blockage. This is you gaining that nugget of truth because you're reflecting on this. You're reflecting on your belief systems and where you learned them from. Some of you, this is just family. Some of you, this is work related. And as you're reflecting and seeing the truth, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing that there's a need for a major shift because there is a lot of unhappiness and you feel stuck with that Devil card and the Ten of Cups in reverse. There is more of that depressive energy. Wheel of Fortune in reverse, a need for a major shift. Eight of Wands in reverse, feeling stuck, feeling very blocked. Chariot in reverse, feeling like you can't go anywhere. Did she read from the feminine video yet? No, I need to schedule that live. I'm probably going to do it in the first week of February because I want to finish all the monthlies before February comes. Reflect, whoever this is. Yeah. Seeing the truth of that and really what it's done to you and what it's been doing to you. Yeah. So that's a biggie. That's kind of a biggie. Hold on a second. Oh, man. Yeah. So I knew that one was going to be kind of sad, but I like where this ended because this is basically just like a moment of the clarity of all this shit, right? But let's go ahead and do, do the last spread. Oh, man. Let's see. My Jupiter is in Leo, 4th house. Cancer, Queen of Cups. Maybe I'm reaching. We can all harness. So I haven't spoken on this in a while. But we can harness any energy of any sign if we want to. Because technically, they're in our charts because of our houses. We have Aries somewhere in our houses. We have Aquarius somewhere in our house. We have Taurus somewhere in our house. We have every single sign somewhere in a house. So you can harness any energy of any sign you want to. So when you're watching readings, for those of you who are relatively new, let's say your chart's all fire and like air or something like that, and all the water cards keep coming out, the Queen of Cups comes out, the King of Cups comes out, and you're kind of like, I don't really jive with that. It probably is a message for you, or it can potentially be a message for you. But just know that, you know, you can harness water even if you don't have that in your chart or anything like that, is what I'm trying to say. Having a hard time communicating. I feel action no matter how small, it's the only way through. You seem to explain what just happened. Okay. All right, the last one, I want to go a little bit more spiritual, a little more cosmic. I haven't used Big Bertha in a while. I've almost felt like I've needed to take a break with that deck. Ooh, or we could use Anubis. Kind of like that idea. Bertha? Oh, that's right. God, I must have not used this in a while. This one. Like, where's the other deck? There. It's a deck that I combined, but I haven't been feeling it lately. It hasn't felt right. I wouldn't be surprised if New Moon in Aquarius, I feel like I need to pull this out. Anubis. Okay, we're going to do the Anubis one. That one feels good. I will probably read the descriptions to you guys, because it's still a deck that I'm getting used to. I'm in love with it, but I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, so the Anubis deck, hold on. Are all these upright? It doesn't matter, but... Oh, it's just that one card. Okay. Let's see. Anubis. Okay, alright, we'll do this one for the last spread. Oh, damn. I should have got more tea. Okay. Just want to get a little grounded first for this one. Okay. Any other messages for my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? Any other messages for my patrons for the full moon cycle? Any other messages for my patrons for the full moon cycle? They're showing me a lot of earth. Just like literally grass and dirt. Like they're literally showing me just a lot of earth. It's weird. It's making me think of Uranus, which I'm like, why is it making me think of Uranus? I know Uranus is in Taurus. To me, Uranus is so not earth energy. To me, Uranus is like very galactic, cosmic, cerebral, etheric. Like that's kind of how I look at Uranus, but they keep showing me earth when I'm feeling like, and then it makes me think of that. I feel like some transformation cards are going to come out, or references and transformations going to come out with that. Oh, thank you. I was like, because I'm kind of like, where are you leading me, Spirit? Help me out. I don't know where you're leading me. That's why it's making me think of Uranus. It's like the immovable compared to the constantly moving. Yeah, so this is about transformation. There's resistance. That's why they're showing me Earth. It's like Earth is stable, solid, immovable. Like you can't push it, but Uranus is all about pushing. Uranus is all about moving and changing and adapting. And I feel resistance to change. I feel resistance to a transformation and a needing to acknowledge that. There's a need to acknowledge that. Any messages from patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? I'm also hearing new moon. I wouldn't be surprised. Thank you. They gave me the confirmation before I could even say it out loud. It is in relation to the new moon Aquarius and what that could be highlighting. Yeah, because we're going from fire to air and then to earth, because then we have full moon Virgo after the new moon Aquarius. New moon Aquarius is going to really push the need to change. It's really going to push the need to adapt, and adapt quickly. Like, and it not just like, because Aquarius is also that out of the box thinking, right? It's like needing to adapt in ways that maybe you're not used to adapting. It's going to bring that up even more than what we're feeling now. Might be very uncomfortable if there's a lot of resistance there. Any messages for our patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? So while there is like passionate energy right now and some anger and frustration, learning that adaptability and how to adapt and owning that and kind of recognizing any resistance you have to change or transformation, recognizing that now or sooner rather than later is going to be more beneficial than waiting it out or just holding on to that resistance. And to each in their own time, don't get me wrong, to each in their own time. But the new moon Aquarius is going to be really hard if there's a lot of resistance within yourself to change and adaptability. Any messages from my patrons for the full moon Leo cycle? New moon Aquarius, we have a card out here, but I can't see it yet. Full moon, New moon Aquarius is also going to bring in a lot of expansion, awakened energy, a lot of that enlightenment, ascension-y energy. That could also be part of why they're bringing this up to me for you guys. Be mindful that shit's coming up. You might have already been starting to feel some of that activation energy coming in. Ptah is the first card out. Excuse me. Imagination, visionary prophet. That screams Aquarius to me. Ptah, I believe, is a primordial energy, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like it's a primordial energy. The new Aeon, I think that's how you say that, Ptah. Again, I'm going to read all these, but that's screaming Aquarius. That is so screaming Aquarius to me. And really being open to all of these like flooding in of energies and ideas and changes and not resisting that. Like really being open to that, really letting yourself receive all those energies and ideas and rolling with it. Let's see what else wants to come out. And I just noticed he's pointing to Earth. He's pointing up to air, the sky, and he's pointing down to Earth. I just noticed that. That's so crazy. As above, so below, right? As above, so below. Any other messages? Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. That's the only card. Whoa. And overall, we have Ma'at. I mispronounce these sometimes, so I apologize. Truth. Radiance and balance. Truth. Ma'at is kind of like justice. She represents balance and justice. So also not surprised that this is coming in here. Very much like air energy with this card. I'm going to read these to you guys. But yeah, I'm not surprised that this is coming in here. It's like accepting energy, accepting ideas, accepting and being open to anything changing. And Ptah, like I said, is a bit of a primordial energy. When I say primordial, I'm talking like origins of cosmos, primordial, like the deep, deep original shit that's within all of us and unites us as a collective in the expansion of that. And as above, so below. Getting inspired, rolling with changes, rolling with new ideas and creative energy, and really allowing yourself to go there where you haven't gone before, allowing yourself to expand, allowing yourself to ascend for those where that applies, but mostly allowing yourself to have these influxes of energy and ideas and just see what happens and get out of your comfort zone, because there is truth in what you will be experiencing, and there's also balance to be struck in the new. Geez, yeah. Before I read these, I just want to check the chat. I will do that. Check it out. A little nice sync there. Yeah, yeah. Oh wow, that's interesting. So I'm gonna show you the bottom card underneath this one. Sorry, I wasn't going to, then I looked and I couldn't help it. We have Bast, the moon goddess, moon, underneath that. Holy longing, desire, instinct, and sexuality. So not surprised that's there either, because there is desire also, and there's desire and wanting coming in with these ideas and creative energy as well, to kind of fuel the fire, fan the flames of change, fan the flames of the new. So not surprised that's there. But let's go ahead and read these, and then I might clarify. We only got one card, so I might as well clarify. Is Bast 11? Yes. 11 and 8. And then Ptah is 20 to break down to 2. All right, so let's read Ptah. Okay. The great creator, God Ptah, has the power to imagine a new world and opens the mouth of creation to issue its forth. A lover of this world, this existence, and all things manifest, he is also a prophet and a seer of the future eons. He holds the potential of a golden age in his mind's eye. You know, we all been talking about this golden age, even though I don't really say it like that, because I feel like it's like, I don't like using those words, but a lot of people in the spiritual community use those words. Where was I? We humans are entrusted with his imaginings and have the potential to embody, enact, and create them. When we can tap into his vision, he helps us harness his ability to speak things into being. His dominion reaches down to earth, into the underworld or inner world, all the way up to the cosmos and the Akashic realms, including all spaces in between. Ptah was revered by the ancient craftsmen, artists, and builders of the monuments of Egypt, for he assisted them in manifesting their co-created dreams, providing both ideas and tools. If you have drawn this card, you are connecting with Ptah and being asked to open your mouth, to speak your truth as you have seen it from your highest visions, and to help co-create a new era. With your right speech and right actions. This applies to you personally and to whatever situation or question you bring to the Oracle. It also applies to the greater collective vision of the future of our world. You are being asked to see clearly with your heart and into your heart, that big-hearted energy, and to bring forth all creations through the channel of your heart and mind. Close your eyes, focus on the image of Ptah, and use your heart to see and listen. Oh man, that makes me want to talk about something. Hold on, I'm going to finish. There's only a couple more sentences. I'm going to say what I want to say. Then imagine in your mind's eye what it is that you will create. Remember, your thoughts and words influence reality, as do your actions. You too can manifest your dreams. That first sentence, close your eyes, focus on the image of Ptah, and use your heart to see and listen. I forgot what made me think about this the last few days. Like really feeling versus thinking. Like when people talk to you, or when you're observing a situation, or you're in the middle of a circumstance, and people are saying all kinds of things, you might even be thinking things, but it's like to have that conscious awareness and to have that like decision-making skill to just decide, I'm just going to feel everything that's going on right now. Like even if you hear words, to like feel them, not think them or think about them. God, I hope that makes sense. Like if you're having a conversation with somebody and they're saying things, right? It's like to just feel that, to feel their words and not think about them or think about like think about what you want to say back. It's like just feel it. That's been on my mind lately. Anyway, felt the need to share. Ali talks about that all the time in her readings. Yeah. It's definitely been focused on not being afraid to think my way through, but to close my eyes and feel my way through. Yeah, it's like there's such a difference there. It's such a difference. Even if it takes time to like express yourself like vocally, feeling situation, feeling words and energy is so powerful. So that's interesting that this card also talks about that, but also talks about our ability to create from that primordial place, creating from that place of original creation that we all are connected to, right? That is coming in with the full moon Leo energy because there's that passion and desire, but it's really going to be amped up during the new moon Aquarius because they keep highlighting that to me. So I feel like this is more of a reading of like new moon Aquarius versus full moon Leo, but it's already present. It's already present, and this frustration and anger that we feel, or may even be expressing or be experiencing from other people, it's almost just showing the gunk that's in the way, right? It's like it's showing the emotional gunk that's in the way of us like feeling our way through this shit and also being open and embracing change and open to new ideas and creative energies as well. Um, because I have to slow down to it, it gives me anxiety, so it's taking practice. I feel like my moon in Gemini makes it so hard to focus on feeling. They're so connected to my thoughts. No, I get it. I totally understand. I totally understand. You know, it's something that we all need to practice in our own way and in our own time. But I am going to read Mat. I believe that's how you say it. I could be mistaken, but let me read that overall energy to you guys. Again, I feel like this is just striking that balance and acceptance of truth because you will eventually find balance. You know, I think that's the other thing that sometimes we struggle with. Like when we don't have balance in the now, it's hard to believe we'll attain it again, or we get stressed out when we don't have it. But the truth is, we can always land on our feet, right? We can always land on our feet. We can always eventually find balance again. And the more clarity we have, the more truth we have, we will find that balance. But anyway, let me get back to it. This is like, that's very like Libra energy right there. Okay. All right. I'm just going to say Mat, because I think that's how you say it. Sorry again if I'm mispronouncing it. Mat is the eternal divinity who has created order from chaos since the beginning. She represents cosmic law, divine order, and justice. She is also the balance for which we strive. Her symbol is the ostrich feather, which represents truth, cosmic truth, not relative truth. Mat is the powerful balancer and adjuster who helps us to accept and love the truth about ourselves. The light, the dark, no difference. Her brilliant radiance reflects on our own light back to us so that we may truly see who we are and know where our work lies as we move toward greater wholeness. Wow, God, I'm getting the chills with this one, guys. She is the regal mistress who reigns over the hall of mirrors. She sees beyond right and wrong and creates divine justice in our affairs. All beings serve this radiant one, for she embodies the rule of cosmic law. Her very being provides nourishment for the gods, and the Neteru, which is Egyptian gods, thrive in and through us when we express Mat in our lives. In death, our hearts are weighed against the feather of Mat and must be found to be as light so that we may awaken as Osiris, the goal of every ancient Egyptian. We lighten our hearts through self-acceptance and self-love. Pulling this card indicates that Mat is giving you the opportunity to see yourself clearly and love and accept yourself just as you are. Take some moments to merge with Mat and feel the adjustment and balance she brings to your heart. As you gaze into her radiant brilliance, you can glimpse a truth that might have evaded you until now. Learning to express Mat is a prerequisite to moving into the next level of consciousness. In your outer world, you may be restoring a greater balance and creating order in the wake of some chaotic situation that has occurred in your life. Take the time and make the space to let in the order that Mat brings. God, I love that description. Hold on, chills. Yeah, major chills with that. Holy crap. So much in that one description, it's like almost overwhelming. So again, with this Ptah energy, this creator energy that again, we all have, right? We all have at our disposal to go and create and be that, you know, visionary within ourselves, get all those ideas and put it into reality. Again, I keep getting that like any distortion in sexuality or anger that comes up now is really just the gunk that's in the way. It's like literally that's coming up so we can keep lightening our hearts, essentially, to find that balance within ourselves as we keep moving forward in this Aquarian energy, in this crazy time in our history, so we can really create things that we've never seen before. Yeah. Well, I wanted to do a cosmic spiritual reading, so I guess here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Coming back to the chat. Uh, yeah. And kind of also what I was saying before, it's like I feel like that's sometimes where people struggle. Um, well, I've heard of that weighted heart of the scales story before. It's been so long, so much inner work to do. And that's okay, guys. Like, that's the other thing. It's like anytime emotions like this come up, like anger, sadness, fear, it's gunk that's trying to get out of your heart, right? Um, that's all it is. It doesn't mean it's bad, but that's why it's important to honor that stuff so that the gunk gets out of your heart. So you can be more open and receptive and more true to who you are. And you can also feel. When gunk is all up in our heart space like that, we don't feel nearly as consistently or as true. Like there's distortion wrapped up in how we feel and perceive things because we're all gunked up, essentially. Um, yeah. And I think that is why it's hard for some people to do this kind of work, or to do that kind of inner work, because there's this overwhelming feeling of I will not land on my feet. I will not be stable. I will not be okay if I do this or I go there or I purge that. But you will be. We always are. That's also why she's got a heart. Not because she weighs hearts too, but that's also why she's got a heart there. Um, yeah. Wow. Um, that's the beautiful thing to do, being able to do the work. Definitely need to hear that metaphor. I love the heart on the card. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to clarify this because I think it's going to be very circular, very repetitive. I think because it's in the heart we trust, it's supposed to be there and it's hard to question it. Well, and that's the thing too. It is truth. Like feeling that stuff is a reality. It's not about invalidating your feelings, right? Because the feelings are there for a reason, but honoring that pain and that hurt and making them valid is also it also lightens your heart and releases that. You know what I'm saying? Like trust that you're angry, right? But it's deeper than that. Yes, you're angry, but why are you angry? What's really making you angry? And then the gunk behind that anger can be dealt with and released so it's not plaguing you and still sitting in you, making you angry over and over and over again. Um, do you recommend a book on these cards? Oh, it comes with the book. Hold on. It comes with the book. It comes with this one. Um, or are you talking about the Egyptian mythology book? Or do you mean that? Um, Healing so tough sometimes. It's really like suctioning in the nursing field. When your patient is congested, you suction out the gunk, and they can then breathe easier and clearer, cleaning out the heart to feel. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I love that, Danielle. That's like the perfect analogy. Yes, Egyptian mythology. So, disclaimer: I'm a nerd. I love Audible. I have so many audiobooks. If I was doing this on like a computer or webcam, I would show you my list of Egyptian mythology books. I have a lot. I think I've got like 8 that I've listened to on and off. Some of them I haven't listened to fully. Um, but as far as tangible books, um, the Book of Doors that I talked about months ago, awesome book. So awesome. It comes with a deck as well. Ooh, you know what? Oh my God. Okay, why have I never thought about this? I want to work with that deck with you guys because that deck is crazy. The book covers a lot. It covers Thoth, it covers alchemy, it covers not just Egyptian mythology, it covers that too. But it also covers like the Egyptian alphabet and manifestation according to like how Egyptians looked at it. Yeah, covers all kinds of stuff. Amazing book. I got it on Amazon. Um, yes, drop the reading list. um, I can't even remember them off the top of my head because like here's the kind of nerd I am. When I'm interested in a topic, I just go to Audible and I just search the topic. And then I just look for highly rated books and then I listen to the sample to make sure the narrator is not going to make me crazy if I try to listen to it. And then I just download as many books as I can and then I just listen to them whenever I can. Um, yeah, I'm such a nerd. I love the Book of Doors deck. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. It's amazing. It's like shockingly scary, amazing. And you do get to learn a lot about Egyptian mythology through using the deck. Um, one of Rodin's obsessions. Yeah, my library is huge. Um, what about the Book of Doors you have spoke of in one of your recent videos? The Voice is Everything. The Mentee Oracle deck is my favorite of my collection. Ooh, I don't know that one. Knowledge. No, that's actually really smart when your time is limited. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, especially if you're listening to it like in bed, which I don't always recommend because you fall asleep, but also sometimes it kind of creeps into your subconscious, like your dream space. Um, I've been reading the Book of Thoth. It was weird. It was something I dreamed about like over a decade ago, so it was strange to find it in a weird, obscure bookstore. Yeah, that's how I found the Book of Doors. I wasn't looking for it. It like stumbled across my screen on my phone, and I was like, why do I feel like I need this? It wasn't even popular. I think it actually was made in the 90s, maybe even earlier than that. And I was like, why is this being, I don't understand why this is being recommended to me because it wasn't clear as to what it was. So I was like, okay, I'll get it. So then I got it. And then after I added that to my cart, this one popped up. And at that point, I was really about like, I need to find like Thoth energy and like Anubis energy. Like, I need to find people who resonate with those energies. Like, I was so overwhelmed by that feeling that I bought it. And then this I didn't even open until a couple months ago. A couple months ago when I did actually connect with somebody who does have that frequency energy. Yeah, so it's very interesting how all this stuff works. You like the MNT Oracle? It's based off the concept of Mott. Okay. I'm so curious about that now. My curiosity is piqued. Didn't realize that's what we were talking about right now. I just got here. Oh, Danielle. Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, you can always go back and rewatch. That's what I thought too. I thought the book that comes with the deck is so beautifully spoken. Oh, it's amazing. The illustrations, like the art illustrations, are awesome. How do you like the Mayan deck? I actually have two Mayan decks. Okay. So there's one that I'm learning that I haven't really used yet for you guys. The reason it's like I'm taking my time to learn it, the book is like that thick. It's a super thick book. I'm taking my time to learn it because while it has some traditional tarot in it, there's a lot of it that's not traditional, that's unique to like Mayan culture and language and, you know, mythology, basically. And so the book is about learning that stuff. So I'm taking my time with it. It also doesn't function the same way as a tarot deck, even though it has like, you know, even has like, you know, swords and pentacles and things like that. They don't call it that, but it's that same suit because it's really cool. Like if you lay out all the cards, they actually fit into one image, like one picture, and it's so cool. But it's like the way each card is set next to each other in the grand image, which is not in order of their suit or anything like that, is part of how the cards actually relate to each other. So it gets kind of complicated. What is the name of that deck? Oh God, I can't even pronounce it, which is embarrassing. Shoot, and I don't have it in front of me. Okay. I will have someone remind me of that later. I'll have my assistant remind me of that later. To talk about it or at least just post the name of it for you guys. Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, and that deck was channeled. Like the art and everything, it was like channeled to like have it that way. I've never seen anybody use it. I just saw that. Ben, please remind us. Anubis keeps coming up for me telepathically. I'm nervous to find out why. Anubis is awesome energy. I know like sometimes people get worried about Anubis energy because it's like shadowy, but it's shadowy for a reason. Like it's that underworld, powerful, shamanic priest, masculine. Like that's actually, Anubis is actually very divine masculine energy. But I think people think like, oh, Anubis, like death. Like, no, it must be like very like shadowy in a bad way. It's a really good way. Says the Scorpio. Yeah. Just saying. I know. I got that bias going on. But it's true. It is true though. All right, guys. I love you. I've been on for like 2 hours, so I should probably go. But I really enjoy doing these readings with you guys. And I hope you guys have a really good full moon experience tomorrow. Anybody doing rituals, and if you get angry, or if you get some distorted sexual energy or whatever, I hope you guys, you know, handle it just fine. I have total faith that you guys will. I'm not even worried about it. Yay, thank you, Rodin. You're amazing. Thank you. I got drawn to a vintage Maya serpent pin. Ooh, with a malachite eye? I want to see a picture of that. That sounds insane. Have an amazing night. You guys are awesome. Ben is the real MVP. Love you all. Thank you, Rodin. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, I think they were okay. I think Spirit was just trying to kick me off. I got a little disconnected for a second. Um, anyway, yes. Thank you guys. I love you. Thanks for coming out. Like I said, I'm gonna post the live for the Bomispirit chat most likely for the first week of February because I want to get to monthlies, which I'm going to get back to tomorrow. I want to get those out to you guys. Yeah. So I'll see you soon. Enjoy. Namaste.